All right, welcome.
Yeah.
What's up? This is Genesee County Compassion Club show, coming to you live from FlintTalkRadio.com. What's up, people?
What's happening, man?
How you doing?
I'm gonna get my Coke on. I think I have a Coke addiction, Jeremy. I might have to go to some center.
We have to go to the Cokes Anonymous. I think people do get addicted to that stuff, man, especially the bottled form.
It's got real sugar in it, so it's like better technically, but
because it's from Mexico.
Yeah, and I've yet to get like Montezuma's Revenge, and it's Mexican water. So I've been expecting to like.
That's probably why you're addicted.
They must purify it, or maybe there's like some
cartel cola.
I'm just like the old man. When I was a kid, there was a grocery store right across the street from us, right here at the studio.
Yeah.
And we used to go over there and pick up smaller bottles than that, before Diet Coke existed. And I had a bottle of that Coke from Mexico just about a couple months ago. Man, it was just like memory. I mean, it was like all these memories came back because it tastes so much like the stuff we had when we were kids.
It's actually funny how many places you can find it in the glass now. You know, I think people really.
Yeah, whoever's sending it.
I don't know why they don't make it here. Why don't they just stop making it? You know, why do they stop making it here? They import it, but we can't make it here.
Started.
Huh? It's good stuff, though. I mean, it was a better tasting. And the glass bottles, the plastic does something to the taste. I mean,
I would agree with that. I mean, that's probably why you don't see too many good beer manufacturers putting their stuff into cans or bottles. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you can get a Miller Lite in a plastic bottle, but you can't get a Newcastle. No. Hell no.
Yeah, something about the glass for sure. Yeah, I'm down. Everything. Nice. It should come back. Like, I think everything should be in glass.
At least you can recycle it better, I think.
Yeah, people just worry about getting their foot cut. Like, their shoes.
It sinks to the bottom.
I did see, so I was swimming sometime. I see this kid like run and jump into the lake, and it was like just the bottom and this piece.
Oh, yeah.
And he went right on it, and it come right through the top of his foot. And
dude.
Yeah, we packed up and left. We didn't swim at the lake that day.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was bad.
All right. Damn. So much for glass.
Beginning the show with a little gross stuff. All right.
Hey, that's how we roll. It's not always pretty.
It's real life, people.
It's real life. Man, it's nice. It's finally nice outside. This spring is here, not just on the calendar.
Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung. The grass is turning green. All that good stuff. The bugs are back.
Yeah, way to point that out. Thanks for reminding me, dude.
Oh yeah, no,
I killed 2 mosquitoes in my house last night.
Yeah, no, I was at the grocery store this morning. Some guy comes walking in. Where's the stuff for white flies? I need them. Went out to my barn. I got white flies everywhere. Yeah. So he was looking for a hookup. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's good to be back. And it's good to be back in warm weather.
It's very nice. The wind's kind of chilly, but in the sun, it's nice.
Yes, it is. All right, we got some events coming to you. We had our most awesome event. I think this is one of our best ones ever, actually. The 420 party that we had on Saturday, a day early. That's right. Got the T-shirts right here, special commemorative edition. 420 celebration.
We sold out of those, I do believe. The table looked empty at the end of the day.
I think there was like 4 or 5 left. That's about it. Yep, those are over at the Holistic Center now if you want to grab one while you still can.
Nice.
We're not making any more.
Yep.
Okay.
Number.
But yeah, man, it was an awesome time, and it was a great turnout. We had a huge crowd there, and everything was smooth. I was just telling John before we got the show started today, nobody passed out this time.
First time ever, I think, which is cool. They're getting more used to it. We're like 5 years into it.
Like, you need to eat breakfast before you come, okay?
Rags don't exist anymore. People are starting to make the transformation.
That's true. Man, it was awesome. We had backyard barbecue food. We had the hot dog guy out there from Davison area.
Hot dog guy.
People were raving about them hot dogs.
And I had 2. Like
they were real.
They had this crunch thing with the Fritos, and I got, instead of jalapenos, I got coleslaw on it. And, oh man, it was so good.
They were the real deal. Food was excellent.
He actually makes the hot dogs himself, or does he just get the toppings? I mean,
no, he gets the toppings. I don't think he makes the hot dogs.
Right.
You ever had Tony Paco's hot dogs down out of it's in Toledo, the Toledo, Ohio area?
I don't think I have.
It was on MASH. Cleaver's character always talked about Tony Paco's Hungarian Hot Dog Emporium.
Yeah,
that's an actual place, and I guess and that's really good. I mean, but they're more like a sausage, in my opinion, than a hot dog.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, they're really. You ever get a chance?
Is that because they have real meat?
It's real meat. Yeah, it's real meat. But you go down there. You go down to Toledo. Check it out. Google it down there. Or, MapQuest it. I recommend it.
Get a hot dog.
Yeah, they're supposed to open up one down in Dundee, Michigan, just outside that Cabela's that opened up down there.
It's the only thing in Dundee.
Yeah,
is Cabela's.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know if they opened that up, but it was being built when I was there last.
I think they put that town there for Cabela's.
Yeah, I think so. Like Dundee sounds like kind of a outdoorsy name.
Yeah, exactly. But the hot dog guy was cranking it out, and I don't remember what kind of hot dogs he was using, but they were good. They were real good. They had the old style skin on them.
Some snap. Right?
Yeah,
that's what you look for.
The snap
around here, anyways. That's what people look for.
But we had the twist off contest, which was awesome. Cal, he's our champion.
He is. He brought his other trophies too. He had
he had the whole wad with him, man. He's gonna need like a crate or something.
He's got a trophy case. Like the trophy place loves him. Like he's
gonna probably want one of those old black cases that are over in the educational center. I'm gonna need that.
More room
for my cups. He did not take home the fastest this year. His twist, he got the twist down. He hit the table and then it broke open.
Oh.
He was like a half second faster than the next, but he got disqualified due to it's not smokable.
Right.
And so the fastest twist went to Brad. Brad hooked it up, man. I think it was like 7.8 seconds, something like that. Twisted up. Smoke.
Is this actual marijuana being used during this or tobacco?
No, it was actual marijuana.
Okay.
Yep.
So like you guys, of course you got plenty of providers.
Their own.
Yeah.
What was the biggest? The biggest joint was.
The biggest joint was 40.3 grams, I believe. Yeah, we're talking like
over an ounce.
About that big around. No lying, about that big around. And about that long, and it was rolled nicely. I mean, it wasn't like paper sack rolled.
That's
nice
the family fun pack, right? No.
Yeah. The next closest was I think 34 grams, so not too far behind.
Right.
But very impressive. They were both utilized.
Yes.
By I think everyone in the club pretty much.
The best overall, I actually moved up this year. I was third last year. I moved up to second.
Boom!
Yeah.
What was your
next year's my year?
And that was just the best job, the best straightest lines, best appearance, well packed, all that.
Yeah, you could take your time, and I actually rolled twice. I wasn't happy with my first one.
And I think Cal ended up winning that one there, but I think it was because of the gold.
Yeah, the gold paper. Yeah, John Sinclair was in awe of the gold paper.
Yeah, he really wanted to use that too. He was like, I need to test that one.
Yeah.
He was like having it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, John Sinclair there is awesome, and he did his Radio Free Amsterdam. The broadcast there from the podcast as well. But the twist off was awesome, man. I mean, we had the best overall. Cal ended up winning that one, so he did retain his championship status.
Yep.
And he also took home the trophy for most creative. He had a pachyderm. It was an elephant head. So if you can picture like a joint coming down, it's got the tulip shape, if you know what a tulip joint is, for the pachyderm's head, and another big joint coming out of the end of the tulip there for the trunk. And then it had two tusks coming out, and on the top of the tulip there was like papers that had been sort of fluffed out on the sides for ears. It was pretty cool, Mm-hmm. And actually, his Cal's wife, which by the way, it was their anniversary, so happy anniversary to those two. They got married on 420, came to the club for their first reception. But they came in, kicked some booty in the rolling contest, and his wife, I got to mention this, man, it was hilarious. She rolled the Miley Cyrus wrecking ball joint, which this thing was cool.
The wrecking ball was Easter egg because it was close to Easter.
Yep. Had like a little nice, purple ribbon tied to it so she could swing it, and then it had like a stick figure Miley Cyrus body joint sitting on top of the Easter egg, and a little Miley face cut out and stuck on the top of it. It was truly epic. It was cool. So she just swung her there to the wrecking ball thing. I wish I had it. I could show you guys. It was really cool. And then we had one other entry too we had a couple others. I think Matt entered the 1980s pinner, which I think most of us have seen this one before.
That's awesome.
But it was good to see again.
You don't see those very often anymore.
Thank goodness.
I should have entered a wallet joint, like just pinner flat,
half curved. So we had the pinner, and then wasn't there another one too? I think there was another one. I can't remember.
I was working at that point. I was looking from a distance.
All right. But some awesome twist-off entries. Theo ended up taking home the monster one. That was the 40-gram joint. The 40-gram joint. That's like...
It was big. Yeah, that's baller status.
That's like a 30-point buck.
Right.
Did you put? Do you have a picture of that on Facebook?
Huh?
You got a picture of that jumbo joint on Facebook?
I don't think we have that on
I actually
Facebook.
have a picture of the runner-up. Yeah, but
Yeah, we're trying to ban Facebook. No, just kidding. Yeah, check out our Facebook page if you'd like to. Might have some shots on there. Genesee Compassion is the name of the game. You can check it out. But man, that was an awesome contest. I mean, those guys, everybody put it out there, awesome. And kudos to our judges. George helped out in the judging, and John Sinclair is our special guest judge. Take a look at this, guys.
if I can get it on there. Yeah, that's him rolling the runner up. So you can imagine what the winner looked like.
That's huge.
That actually showed up pretty good.
Well,
No, you ain't getting that one.
I know that's the live winner, whatever. But they're seeing it, and there's the. Yeah, you can't really tell.
Okay.
The perfect. The good
That-
rolling shot.
That actually showed up pretty decently on screen.
Head by
Not
all.
too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad at all. So cool. Other events we had the Easter egg hunt. I wasn't there for that, but I heard it went fantastic.
We had
Our members went nuts.
We had a couple people that were into it. Like this one lady was like trying to get back behind security. Can I get back there and look? There ain't none back here. I promise you, there's none back here. She's looking in the auction prizes. There's like backpacks and stuff. The silent auction. Yeah, that was
Nice.
funny. She's looking in everything. Like, what are you doing?
And we had the golden ticket winner. She won a bong.
Yeah,
And some
she
other
was
goodies?
happy. Yeah, and she was from like Grand Traverse or something. She was.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't remember. She was a ways away though. Yeah,
Cool.
That was cool.
So
That's a
a
good
good time had by all. We also had the auction, which went very well. Thank you for all of our bidders, and also special mention to Will, who again came up with the member 420 card.
Yeah.
And man, he slammed it and made it happen this year. So Will, big shout out to you, member 420. He will retain the 420 number.
I don't think
For
anybody
another
will
year.
ever forget. Will has held it the longest.
Will is member 420, just so you know.
And people even said they were going to bring some money and try to outbid him too, and he still got it.
No,
so
he
good
took
deal.
that home with dignity.
Will's a good man.
All right, so that was the party. Thank you for everyone who made that happen. The staff rocked it out. You guys just made things run so smoothly. Big thank you to you guys, and shout out to all of our members that came out and celebrated with us. Thank you very much. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I also mentioned Todd the glass blower was out there doing his thing in the hut.
I actually got a couple pieces of his art. He's doing art, like paintings and stuff now. Some
Oh, very
spray paint
cool.
art, so.
Very
Yeah.
cool. So, awesome time. If you guys missed it, you definitely missed it. So,
I am trying for a 710 party.
ooh,
I
7.
I mentioned this yesterday. I think Sean and I and John Flint might get involved and just kind of do it. I
Alright.
don't know if Jamie wants to think so.
I'm going to have to talk to Jamie, have a little board meeting about this.
Right, yeah, I think we should. I mean, 420 was a great success. And,
True.
We busted out a few more things and made it even more happening.
Yeah,
Why not?
could be a possibility.
We'll do it.
But we'll let you know what we come up with on that. And Toby might just decide to go rogue if the board says no.
Yeah, I will. Like, I'm serious. I want to get
Go
some
rogue.
celebrities. I'm looking for celebrities and stuff. There's a bunch of-
710 mutiny.
Yeah. Come on, Whoopi Goldberg. Come see us at a 710 party.
Yeah, actually, I was just reading about her. She uses a vape pen.
Yeah, she's,
And she says that, she used to eat Advil by the handful.
right.
She has glaucoma, for those of you that don't know, and also gets severe migraines because of it. But she swears by the vape pen. She says that's the only way to go. Doesn't use Advil anymore. Doesn't have to worry about it hurting her system. And she says sometimes one puff's enough to get the job done. And if it's a bad day, 2 or 3, and she's good to go.
Right.
So
But that's what the people need is to decide what they need for themselves. It's
Absolutely.
It's not going to hurt them. You know what I mean? Especially
Yep.
if you're in your own home, experiment, find out what you need. If you get a little too high, it's okay. Sit down, watch some TV,
Right.
drink some Kool-Aid.
She was saying that actually for her, she gets a better controllability of her effect with the vape pen as opposed to smoking a joint or something like that. Because you can take like a small puff or a big
wait
puff.
a minute. Yeah, you should be able to instantly feel it if you have some decent concentrate.
Yep.
And continue for what you need.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my back pains, my like I haven't had. It helps my back spasm so much. Like I was just talking about that. Like I haven't had a major back spasm in months.
Wow.
And they used to wake me up in the night. Like it ruined my whole day. I'd have a bunch of stuff to do the next day. I'd get an hour into sleep and it'd wake me. I had to walk around.
Oh, wow.
I'd be doing bong rips and drinking, warm milk, trying to get back to sleep. 'Cause I had so much to do the next day. It ruined my whole week.
Oh, man.
So yeah, the vape pen has definitely saved my life.
That's awesome how that works for you. Now, I got to ask, since you're vaping with your pen right there, I see you got the regular tip going on, and you got the little. What's the difference between like this one here and then the glass dome?
This one, nothing much, except you can kind of see, and there's a little bit more. You can see what's going on a little bit better. If you'll notice, I keep having to take this off to stir it, make sure things are happening down in there. But
okay.
Other than that, this is just a little dirty. I didn't want to take the time to clean it up today. So.
Oh, okay. So it just gives you a little bit greater visibility. Is the nail about the same size then? The head where you're basically putting it on?
Yeah,
it's kind of like an electronic nail almost.
Yeah, but that might be a little bit bigger, the area that you can put your wax in. And this is more discreet for like public use or, around other people as well. You can obviously see something's going on.
Oh, right on. Yep, that's true.
Yep.
Cool.
I love my pen.
I've got a few patients that use a vape pen and they swear by it. It's fantastic. Great controllability. It's very discreet, so it's good all the way around.
And for tobacco and stuff too. Like I'm trying to quit smoking cigarettes again, so the same thing. I'm going to get one of the vape pens with the, and you can control your nicotine and get off it a little bit smoother.
Sweet.
So hopefully I think that
you have to stick it to your arm.
Yeah, I think it's the future. Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
Vape pens and powdered alcohol.
I heard about the powdered alcohol. What's up with that? You like mix it in like Tang?
You can just mix it in whatever, I guess, and it makes it alcoholic. Yeah, you can just mix it with water and it's instant vodka. Like but apparently.
Can you get different kinds of powders? Is there like Jack Daniel's powder?
Probably. Yeah, it'll be like concentrates. You know what I mean?
Can you put it in your vape pen?
No, I don't know if you want to smoke. It'd probably blow your face off.
Whoa, it wouldn't work.
But yeah, we were actually had a conversation about that. Like, I don't know if they're doing this to try to help people that are on like other drugs, heroin, and things like that, trying to get them weaned off. Because you could technically, you could snort it or whatever. It's instant. It's cheap. So I don't really know why the U.S. is just so gung-ho about it and just jumping on board without any questions.
So can you buy powdered alcohol somewhere?
Very soon, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently it's going to be on the market soon.
Seems like that'd be kind of dangerous. I don't know. I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Like as far as OD, because you can, it's much more dangerous than marijuana. You can OD really fast.
Yeah, you can die from it.
Really
For sure.
fast,
Alcohol can kill you, of course.
So yeah, that's I don't know.
And I just, I see kids with, the hot cocoa. They got the Swiss Miss can out, and they never put in just 3 scoops.
No, and they got Gonna have to check party punch a little bit more often at the dances, school dances now.
I don't know, man. All right, powdered alcohol. We don't advocate for that.
No, not advocating for it.
We do have a couple events coming up at the club. We've got our soup kitchen coming up here May 2nd, and Madman Matt, the chef, the man, he's going to be cooking it up down at the soup kitchen. We need your help. Help serve the people at the North End Soup Kitchen here in Flint. And again, that's May 2nd. If you can meet us at the club at about 2 o'clock, we'll carpool over there, and then we're going to cook it up. I think we're doing fish. Fish is on the menu, I believe.
Nice.
So always nice to bring our food. We cook it up, serve it up. Sure. And you get to eat some too. So come on down.
I'm sure it'll be excellent.
It will be. He is dude, the cobbler is worth going for alone. All right? He's got the cracked cobbler. It's amazing. And then also, another announcement. We will be offering testing soon. Mm-hmm. I don't have an exact date for you because there's a lot of things that got to be in place and set up and pre-screened and dialed in and tuned right and all this and that. But we will be testing.
Sure. We do have it.
Yes, we will have it. Full mass specometry testing at the G3C. It will be available. We're hoping for the first week of May. So you can bring your samples down starting hopefully first week of May. We'll give you an exact date here as soon as we have one for you. But this is going to be exciting. We can do complete cannabinoid profile for you, find out exactly how much or how effective your cannabis is, and we can test edibles, flower form, concentrates, any of those kind we can test. We can also test for terpene profiles. So if you want to know, like awesome. if you're Candy Kush and you think it's the best, well, cool. Let's find out what terpenes it has, and right. Maybe we can figure out why it's the best, and sort of start kind of separate things. We've got a number of strains in the club that are extremely popular, like blueberry is one of them. Right. And some people might have like a blueberry that tastes this way and another one tastes different. Well, the terpenes are kind of the reasoning behind that, right. And so we'll be able to figure out, well, yeah, this one here contains more of this particular type of terpene, which is what gives it that flavor. Mm-hmm. This one here does not, or vice versa. But this can be exciting. I mean, we're going to have some full-on. This is full-on mass specometry. It's simply the very top of the line, best testing that can be offered. I mean, this is superior to what the state police lab uses.
Right.
When they test people to find out, or not test people, when they test material to find out if it's cannabis or not, they simply confirm whether or not it has THC.
Right.
They're not doing a full rundown of all the different cannabinoid profiles. I know there's other labs out there in Michigan that offer testing, but I think ours is going to be one of the premier machines out there
for sure
to be able to dial this in for you. So we're very excited to offer this for you. We'll have more details to come. As soon as we get those, we'll share them with you, and we'll let you know when we're going to be open for business. But this is going to be awesome. I'm very excited, man.
Yeah, the terpene thing too. I talked to DJ Short Blueberry.
Yeah,
he comes in there, he was talking about how helped him create some strains, is being able to see the terpenes, you know what I mean? Because you have to mix this to this to get like a mango flavor, you can kind of control, and that'll help you figure out what your end result's going to be.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yep. I've seen a couple graphs where it kind of breaks it down, like if you say, well, what makes coffee smell like coffee? You know what I mean? Well, there's a terpene that gives it that aroma.
Right.
And then you can mix it up with other ones. I mean, one of the easiest ones I know off the top of my head is a limonene, which is responsible for like your citrus kind of smell.
Right.
And but you'd be surprised how many different cannabis strains contain limonene in it. I mean, a lot of them, and it's not just like your lemon type strains. It's a lot of different strains.
Yes.
So.
And some orangey things will taste just like straight orange peel, like orange oil, real strong. Some taste more like a creamsicle, orange creamsicle.
Right.
So yeah.
Or a slice.
Right.
Orange slice.
Orange slice.
So we're pumped about that. Sean is going to be manning the lab. He's going to be factory trained technician.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool. We'll let you know as we said. All right, there's speaking of testing, the Michigan House of Representatives is trying to crack down on stoned drivers. And so they're looking at a bill in the House, and actually this went before the House last week for one of the hearings up there. I believe it was a House committee that had their first hearing. It's House Bill 5385, and it is for roadside saliva testing for THC. This is a test that's actually being, the machine that they're proposing to use is actually being tested right now, kind of like a pilot test, if you will, in LA. Okay. And there's a lot of debate about this particular method of testing because the results from the saliva test method are skewed in a way that doesn't always bring out the highest degree of accuracy.
Yeah, and so, I'm sure there's things that can falter that, just like put a penny in your mouth or whatever, messing with the.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other.
Well, and there's a big difference in how this works pertaining to the individual themselves. One of the things was I was looking this up. There's a lot of different information on THC testing and so forth, but one of the things is that you can have THC obviously in your blood, but when it metabolizes, it turns into a different form, which is actually called THC COOH.
Okay.
All right. So without getting too technical, basically, the THC changes once it metabolizes in your blood. So once it gets into your bloodstream, it changes just a little bit, and if that metabolite is still in your blood, then you're potentially or supposedly still under the high of the marijuana, and it only lasts in your blood for a certain amount of time, but this is dependent upon the individual and how fast their metabolism works.
Right.
So this is highly debatable whether or not this is accurate, whether or not someone has the certain threshold. That's the other thing that we haven't really discussed either, is what would there be, or is there a threshold? How many nanograms of this metabolite would be allowed, if any, so on and so forth. So a lot of debate, a lot of technical type of information that has to be discussed in this bill. And there was a number of people that showed up at the Capitol, and I definitely want to say thank you to those folks, like Eric Gunnels, I know was there. Also Robin Schneider, Rick Thompson, just to mention a few, all gave testimony, in regards to this bill. And thanks to their input, it seems that there may be a possible exception written into the bill, potentially. I'm not saying it's there yet,
Right.
but it would provide sort of a waiver for those folks that are out there with medical marijuana cards. So if you're a patient, medical marijuana patient, registered, you have a card, there potentially could be a waiver written into this bill so that you wouldn't be subject to this type of test.
Right.
Or if you were, there'd be a certain allowance or something like that
Yeah, it
for
doesn't
your...
give you free will to drive around and get high.
Right. And, that's the thing. I mean, it's a very debatable issue. A lot of folks that use cannabis regularly would tell you that, this does not impair their ability to drive. And currently under state law, for people who do have a medical marijuana card, the presence of THC in your blood is not caveat, blank, doesn't give the officer permissions, in a sense, to just bust you for driving.
Right.
They actually have to be able to prove that you were impaired while you were driving. Which
sort of field test.
Yeah, this was a Supreme Court case that went through last summer, and it could have gone the other way, which would have been terrible. It would have meant that hey, if you have used cannabis and it's in your blood at all, you can't drive. Which obviously does not make sense. And people who are using medical marijuana and have the right to do so should be able to obviously operate their vehicle, provided they're not impaired.
Right.
So, this is kind of the debate. I think, quite frankly, that nobody wants to see anyone driving a vehicle impaired.
Right.
And I believe that the law officers, our policemen out there, police women as well, have the ability to determine whether or not somebody's impaired without using machinery.
Yeah.
I think that they can do a roadside sobriety test, and it won't matter if they've got THC in their saliva or alcohol or cocaine or whatever it may be. Or maybe they're just too damn tired to be on the road. Whatever it is, I think that officers can do that just fine. I don't think they need more equipment. So personally, probably whoever's coming up with these testing machines is doing the backing behind this type of legislation. And I'd like to see them just go ahead and stick their head in a hole and never come back. But unfortunately, this bill is roaming around. It's House Bill 5385, still up for debate. Certainly, I'd like to see that waiver get put in there for medical marijuana patients. We don't want to see them getting caught in the crosshairs of law enforcement.
Right.
We don't want to see a issue for law enforcement. With these guys out there saying, well, what am I supposed to do now? Creating conundrums for law enforcement. We don't need that.
You're right. I mean, they should be able to know. Anybody that works in public service should be able to know. You're dealing with the public all the time. You see people, you know what I mean? And you can tell if somebody's handling
They're
themselves
trained.
okay
I mean,
or
they're
not.
specifically trained how to identify someone who shouldn't be on the road. And, like sleep deprivation is another thing that they have to be able to identify. And certainly you're not going to test somebody's spit for that.
Right.
You need to take a nap.
Tired, sir.
You're lacking nap in your spit. But yeah, this is something that's going through, something that needs your attention. If you have a minute, give a phone call or email to your rep. Let them know how you feel. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Other Michigan news out there. Did you guys hear Oak Park, Hazel Park, and I think Berkeley is another city that's coming up here real soon. But they've collected enough ballot signatures to get a decrim for their city on the August primary vote. So, good stuff.
I think Utica's on that too or something. Yeah.
Well, there's a number of different cities that they have petitions where they're still collecting signatures.
Gotcha.
And I think Utica's one of them.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, I think I had them down here, a couple others. Oh, Clare, Harrison, and Mount Pleasant. A few other cities to the north that are also currently collecting signatures. But Oak Park, Hazel Park have enough signatures.
They need it too. They've been going through it up there, up north.
Oh, definitely.
Putting them through the ringer.
And this is a provision, just like what we had passed here in Flint this last year, which basically says, hey, if you're over 21 and you're on private property, that having an ounce of marijuana or less would be
lowest priority.
Yeah, lowest priority for law enforcement, and maybe a civil infraction of sort if you were in fact busted with this amount. So I think it makes sense. And the one kind of cool thing I saw was one of the people from, I think it was Hazel Park. It was the city councilman. I think like the city supervisor actually was like one of the first people to sign the petition.
Really?
Yeah, said absolutely. I think this makes sense for our area, and I definitely support it. Signed right up. And so it's good. I mean, you see city officials actually backing this, and they had overwhelmingly had way more than the amount of signatures they needed. I think in Oak Park they needed like 1,600, and they delivered 1,900 signatures that they collected in like a 3-week period. So real quick.
It's good.
And
That's
then,
being seen as a good thing.
Yeah.
Instead of
And I don't know if this was a misprint or not, but Hazel Park, it said that they only needed 61 signatures. I was like, really?
Wow.
Wow. It could change the whole world.
Somebody underestimated that.
And obviously they had way more signatures than that collected very easily in order to get this on the ballot. So voters in August, they're actually going to put this during the primary, which I thought was kind of interesting. You're going to probably have a lower turnout, for the primary. But when we have primary elections in August, these cities will have these ballots on their proposal. So good stuff.
Right.
And it looks like there may be a few other cities that are following in those footsteps. So we'll have to see. I think there's like a dozen different cities across Michigan that are having this proposed. Safer Mich is the group. If you guys want to check them out, safermich.org. You can check them out if you want to support them. I'm sure they'd love it. And Tim Beck, he's one of the guys that's been kind of pushing these initiatives out there. Him and some other attorneys, Thomas Loeb or Tim Loeb, out of the Novi area. I think Michael Comorn's also helped out as well. Neil Rockhind, another attorney, have all, I believe, given input to these measures and definitely deserve kudos and thank yous. And I think it just makes good sense.
Oh, yeah.
So, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The world is changing.
This is kind of interesting to our neighbors of the north, the Canucklians. We've covered Canada's Health Canada program on the show previously, so if you've been paying attention, you know it's up. They basically have tried to root out home grows and make it all a government, corporate, funded, provided medical marijuana system up there. But yeah, poo-poo. But this is actually kind of interesting. They're already having a number of issues with the program, and April 1st was the rollout of the new program, so they're already having some issues. One of them, and I thought this was interesting, one of them was they already had a product recall. One of the companies, it's called Greenleaf Medicinals, apparently didn't do a good enough job of getting their Purple Kush out the door. So they produced this special batch, Purple Kush, and got it out to 63 different patients who are licensed through Health Canada's program, and they ended up having to recall it. Interesting thing is they won't say why it's being recalled. So I don't know if this is just some sort of technical glitch. Maybe they didn't keep their books as tidy as they should, and so they have to recall it. Or maybe somebody spilled some kind of toxic chemical on it. I don't know. They're not telling us why. But at any rate, yeah, you rolled out a brand new product. You were licensed by the government. You've been regulated. You're supposedly being inspected, all that good stuff, and none of that matters. You're still putting out crappy weed. Okay?
Fired.
Should be. Bring it back to the home growers is what I'm saying. Yeah. All right? Screw corporate.
To the people that know what they're doing.
Yeah, screw the corporate cannabis, okay? It ain't doing it. It's getting recalled. So if you got some Purple Kush sent to you in a golden packet from Health Canada, send that crap back. Okay?
It could make you sick. It might make you a superhero. They won't say.
They won't say. But you'd only be a Canadian superhero, so it wouldn't be worth it, okay? I think it's just a testament that all that extra regulation, the stamp of government approval and all that doesn't mean squat.
Yeah.
And, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, the Health Canada program, is did you know that you can only get dried flowers? Yeah. It turns out that the way they sort of set up the application process for these companies to produce, so on and so forth, distribute, whatnot, they don't have the ability to produce anything other than dried flowers for their patients. So, medical forms, oils, tinctures, all of that's out the window. You can't do any of that. And actually, it's presenting quite a problem. There's a number of people that in Canada have requested like CBD oil and stuff like that, specifically for minors that are suffering, from epilepsy or other types of seizure type symptoms.
Yeah, flowers alone don't help some people.
Well, absolutely, and plus, the other thing is that we all know smoking is the least effective way of administering the medicine, and also the most unhealthy. I mean, nobody wants to advocate smoking.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Health Canada does. And it's the only way you're going to get it. So 2 negative strikes, check,
Drop
against
the ball on that one, guys.
Health Canada. Screw you, okay? One more reason not to go to Canada, that's all I'm saying. All right? Yeah, and actually their home grows are still in court, so they're being kind of hammered out, if you will.
Right.
Hashing it out. And so they don't have permission yet, but they're working on it, supposedly. All right.
Crazy.
I got some other info here for you. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, cannabis treatment for fibromyalgia. This is kind of cool. They did a survey, National Pain Foundation. I didn't know they existed. National Pain Foundation.
They need to be working harder. There's a lot of people still in pain.
Maybe so.
Any pain.
Right now, there's only 3 different prescription drugs for fibromyalgia. Savella is one of them, Lyrica, and Cymbalta. These are the major 3 out there on the market that are being prescribed for managing this disorder. But it's kind of interesting. The National Pain Foundation put out a survey on 1,300 different patients with the disorder to rate the effectiveness of these drugs that they've tried. And so here's the results. For each of the 3 drugs, 60% of the people surveyed said they don't help at all. 60%. Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Now, they also asked them if they thought that marijuana was effective for treating their symptoms of fibromyalgia. And 62% of the patients found it to be very effective. Very effective. Another 33% on top of that said it helps a little. And only 5% said it doesn't help at all.
Wow.
So compare that 5 no help to 60 no help.
Yeah.
I think one product's definitely better than the other.
Winner, chicken dinner. Marijuana.
So that's pretty amazing. Obviously, it's more effective. And, we could go through the side effect list of Cymbalta and Lyrica and so on.
Bro.
That's just it, Toby. We don't have 4 hours to go through the rest of those side effects.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean that's proof. I think that what grows here naturally is best for you. Mm-hmm. And I have not found a Cymbalta plant.
Not yet.
No.
I've been looking.
There's a flower that sounds a lot like Lyrica, but it's not. So there you go. 62% feel marijuana is very effective. There's 1,300 people they surveyed, so that's kind of cool.
That's proof.
Bingo. National Pain Foundation, thank you for being brave enough to put out your results.
Yeah.
It's definitely cool to hear. All right, got a couple other stories I wanted to share with you. This one here is from leafscience.com. Check that out for yourself. This was kind of interesting. It doesn't have to do with the use of marijuana, but it does have to do with the fact that your body creates its own endocannabinoids.
Right.
And researchers have found that the key to why are some people happier than others has to do directly with how well your CB1
levels are.
Yeah, exactly. Like how well your body produces its own endocannabinoids that are received by the CB1 receptor.
Gotcha.
And so it's directly related to it. And obviously it could get back to why some people could find that using medical marijuana would help out with symptoms like depression, so on and so forth.
Right.
Or just make them a happier in general person overall.
And maybe that was their cause of their depression.
Yeah, maybe somehow deficient.
Yeah, that's been my argument on a few things. Like,
I think you're right, damn it.
Yeah, what has not having THC or cannabinoids in your system done to the human race? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much a perfect example.
There you go. So that was kind of cool. I thought, interesting information. All right, I got a couple other things for you here. Let's see what they are. Oh, Wisconsin. The Cheeseheads. Wisconsin. All right, well, if you're in Wisconsin, you're still screwed. Okay? That's the bottom line. They did pass a medical marijuana law, if you will, but here's the details, okay? First of all, it is CBD only, so figure that one out.
That's
and
tough.
The other thing is that it doesn't actually give access to anyone. This is sort of a tongue-in-cheek law if you really understand how everything's working. But the governor signed this bill into law, and what it does is it basically says, all right, if you're a physician out there and you want to treat a patient with CBD type product, then you now, by Wisconsin law, have the ability to petition the federal government to do a study on CBD oil.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that's a step.
baby steps.
Yeah, I don't know.
The baby steps. So it doesn't, you can't produce, it does not give the ability to produce it or use it or anything like that. It is not, so the doctors can start writing recommendations or anything like that. But they will be able to, at least ask for a grant, if you will, an ability to study this as investigational. That's what investigational
that's what
study.
all the doctors should do in Wisconsin. They should just all ask for it.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
See what
happens.
See what they get.
Yeah.
You get nothing.
Just get a note that says no. Sorry, government.
Yeah, NIDA. NIDA. It has 8 letters on your return mail. NIDA. Nada. Oh, so sorry. So, Wisconsin folks, you need to keep pressing on for real relief because
Stand up for your rights.
Because this ain't going to do it. So, there's a number of other states out there that are sort of dawdling, if you will, in the same type of thing. Like Missouri is another one. I think Oklahoma was another one. Alabama, I think, might have been another one.
Which is weird. As fast as states are coming along into the medical marijuana thing, like, what are these other places thinking? Like, no, we'll just hang back. That's a fad.
Well,
I think go away.
Somewhere in the back rooms of lawmaking, there's these guys who are like, all right, we're going to write a bill that will make the public slightly happy, enough to back them off our backs, and then also give the politicians enough to be able to actually vote for it. So here's what we're going to do. And then they sit down and they write up their nice little draft, and then they send it out to their different, lobbyist groups who then turn back around and solicit lobby their politicians, and then that's how it gets worked through because it's all similar language and so on and so forth. So, but yeah,
so it's all just, really just dots and particulars. There's nothing, there's no scam or anything going by. It's just all.
And then lo and behold, all of a sudden, here comes GW Pharmaceutical with CBD oil.
Hey,
look, we got some for you. Wait, no.
Give this stuff. Oh, hold on, recall that.
Epidiolex.
Insecticide, get rid of it.
There you go. So that is the news for Wisconsin. Back to the cheese.
They are cheesy. Their government's cheesy.
Yeah, that was a cheesy law. Some crap. That was some worse demeanor. Some stank cheese.
The Limburger of laws.
All right, let's see if I got any other news here for you. Nope, I don't.
All right.
No, I think that is about it. There's a couple other little insignificant stories. I think Louisiana basically said no to reducing penalties for possession. Washington, D.C., the district there, they're getting some pushback on their decrim bill. And then to top things off, Puerto Rico is actually considering legalizing pot and prostitution to ease national financial crisis. So there you have it. That's the news.
And prostitution.
So you're going to Puerto Rico?
The PR, son. That's where it's at. I actually knew. I had a friend that worked with us in the Renaissance circuit. Oscar, what's up, Oscar? He was a shoe collector.
You're not a state, okay? Shut up. I don't care. And 51. Who wants 51 states? I mean, if you can get another whatever province like Guam or something to join on, we take 52. Nobody wants an odd number of states. You mess up the flag.
Arkansas. Oh, we already got one of those.
The UP. You just want to be a state? All right. Or maybe you could get Texas to become its own country, and then we'll add on Puerto Rico to stay at 50.
Oh, California's trying to split too. They're trying to split into two, North and South.
North and South.
NorCal and SoCal.
Oh, why don't they just wait for the fault line to really crack open, and then they'd have like a geographical reason.
They actually have a good gripe though, like all the taxes, like the people down south and SoCal are having to pay high taxes for snow removal. You know what I mean? They don't have to deal with that. and vice versa. You know, the people up in NorCal have to pay high taxes for dredging, you know, beaches or whatever, that they don't have to deal with that up there or whatever. So they want to split and deal with their own problems.
I'd say it's a wash.
Yeah.
Still blows my mind that Michigan's UP is actually a part of Michigan.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, up until, what was it, 1951? You had to take a boat to get there.
Right.
Or a plane.
And we're Canada anyways. It's just water. Like there's a board, like the Canadians were scared of the water. No, you can have on that, whatever's on that side.
It's warm down there, eh? We're going to stay up here where it's safe and polite. The Yoopers are rude.
Crazy boys.
No, we love our Yoopers, man. I love that. But anyways, that's the news for you this week, guys. Really appreciate it. Don't forget about the Soup Kitchen, May 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And testing. Don't forget about testing.
Testing. Sibilance.
All right. It's been the Genesee County Compassion Club show. John, thanks for being in the studio with us today.
Wiki.
All right. And thanks for Flint Talk Radio hosting us. We appreciate it. Catch you guys next week on the Genesee County Compassion Club show. Thank you.